Bella. Welcome to Bella Uncinetto. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. We are going to talk about my progress for the month of May. I know that it is June already, but the way that my life was going, this is when it got scheduled. So this is my whips and FOs and also my craft yourself free for May 2026. I am filming it before May is over. However, you're not going to see it until June, which isn't that far away, but here we are. So I'm not sure how long this video will be, but just so that you're knowing what's going on, most of my things are okay. So making sure I had everything. I was like, I think I brought everything. Most of my things are crochet items. One of them is not, but we'll get into that as we go. So part of this is going to be craft yourself free, which I will talk more about towards the end. But that is a collaboration between the amazing Sam over at Manfella Makes and myself. She does a separate video on that every month. I add it into my progress videos because I only put up 3 videos a week, and that's all I can record. That's all I have the energy for, to be honest. So we'll delve into it in a little bit, exactly what it is if you don't know. But we'll get started on what I've done this month. Okay, so for whips, I have not put any more work into the fairy dust, so it is languishing right now. I'm hoping once school is over, fingers crossed, I can put some rows into it before chaos ensues, because summer's going to be a little crazy, to be honest, so we'll just have to see what happens. But I have not put anything else into that. Now, I have been working on my pick and mix, which you guys haven't actually seen, but it is here because I am going to block it, because we're getting close to the end and I want to start thinking about putting it together. So this is a crochet-a-long with Ladybird Loves, where we basically have 2 wheels. We're spinning, she's spinning, and it picks a stitch and a color, and we make a triangle, and then we put it together. So we have right now, it kind of looks like this. I've been playing around with it because I want to see what it might look like put together, but this is the idea. So you have this one, is starting with this blue, this is one triangle, and then the bottom blue, this is the second triangle. So all of this part here, right? And it desperately needs to be blocked because I've blocked all of the triangles, and then I put them together, and then I roll it up and I throw it back in my bag, and it's not staying. So either I'm not blocking it correctly or it's not going to be blocked properly. I don't know. Because I thought it was fine, and then I unrolled it and it looked like this. Because especially these these triangles in the middle, these beige ones, they are a little bit bigger than the other ones, so it kind of throws everything off. But this is done with cream cotton and 6mm hook. So I am going to be blocking those. That's part of why I brought it down here. I have my blocking boards back there, and that's going to be part of what I do today, actually. I'm not sure if you could still message Ladybird and see if you wanted to join in. I mean, we're already, by the time you see this, we will have done week 23. So we're almost done. But I mean, if you crochet really fast and you want to go back and watch all of them, I mean, I don't see why not. I'm enjoying it. I'm doing something that I haven't done. I've never crocheted triangles before and tried to make the stitches fit within a certain thing, and decreasing and trying to make an equilateral triangle is challenging. It's good for my brain. Some of the stitches I've never done before. Some of them I have. I've never done it quite that way before, but I've done some of them before. So I'm not going to delve in too deep on that because it is like basically you have to tell her that you want to be involved, and then she sends you the link. I think once it's over, she's going to condense it and put out something. But what exactly, I'm not sure. But right now, as we go through it week by week, it's whoever signed up to join in to make the triangles. That's who gets the link, right? But if you wanted to keep an eye on her channel, I'm sure she wouldn't mind, so that when something does come out, you'll know what the heck it's all about, which I'm sure she'll go into great detail. She's good with that, but at least you have a heads up if you wanted to do something like that. Okay? So I have been putting work into that. I haven't finished any balls of yarn, but that is a whip. So I'm working on it. The next thing is my stag and the stag and the serpent. So I finished chapter 7. Let's see. Chapter 7 is this one. Right, so I finished chapter 7. I did post it in the Facebook group for the crochet-a-long. Even though the crochet-along is over, Kelsey does leave the Facebook group up. And people have been lovely and amazing and wonderful, because I'm still posting the things. I'm still posting the chapters as I finish them. As well as Kay. She's posting hers too. She finished her chapter 7. Let me see if I can go in and show you what hers looks like, because she did send it to me. But I ran into a problem. I knew I was going to. Most likely. My phone doesn't like it back here. I will see what comes up. I'm gonna let that load. But I know I showed you in last month's Whips and Foes video that I was rapidly running out of yarn. Well, I ran out of yarn. I ran out. I was on chapter 8. This is what I got done of chapter 8. And I ran out of yarn. It was the Hayfield Bonus Glitter DK in shade 0226. This one. And I ran out. Finito. It's done. It's gone. I have no more. I was searching before I ran out, right? I was looking to see if I could find some more, and I did find it in a couple of places, but when I would try to click on the links, it seemed sort of fishy. So I didn't trust it, and I didn't buy it. I did go onto yarnsub.com, and I found some yarn that I've ordered, and I'm hoping that when it comes in, it will be a close enough match to finish. Even if it's a little off, I don't care. I mean, I really don't. If it's slightly different, it will probably be a shade slightly different, but I'm fine with that. I mean, I got about, I'm on row 9. I'm on row 9, and there are 37 rows, I want to say. So, I mean, I got a third of the way done, maybe. A little less than a third of the way done. But it's fine. If the rest of it looks like this, looks close enough, right? Not a big deal. So this is Kay's chapter 7. Yeah. Here we go. That's Kay's chapter 7. Just to show you, because we are doing this together. And it has been so much fun. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Don't get me wrong. I love the reading and the mystery and the, like, going through the different things. But I love doing it with someone also. So, like, her willing to, like, be right there by my side, and we're doing this together. We're doing the rows together. I think I get more joy in that and chatting with her, because we read the story together and then we work on some of it together, at least the first part, and then we touch base if we need help or if we run into something. Now, the cool thing about these chapters is that you don't end up with the same pattern. So while the chapters all start out the same, like the base and like this bottom part of the frame, so like they all have the same like frame setup down here at the bottom, right? So all of them start that way, right? But they don't, they're all different. So you could pick a different design. Like, I think on 2 of them, maybe, we've picked different designs. Maybe 3 of them. I don't know. But we've picked different designs. So, ours don't look completely the same. I know on this one, I know on chapter 8, we don't have the same one. And I know on chapter 7, we don't have the same one. I think chapter 6 we do. Chapter 5 maybe not. I don't remember. But anyway, that's where I am. I'm kind of stuck until the yarn comes in. We have talked about starting the other panel, so starting chapter 9, just so that we can kind of continue. So when the yarn does come in, we're not like waiting forever. But I think it'll be fine because I ordered the yarn to come here and not to my P.O. box. So it should get here sooner rather than later. But we'll see how it goes. I will update you with the yarn when it comes in and kind of show you what it looks like. So if you happen to have some of this yarn and you run into this issue, you'll know whether or not the yarn that I ordered is a match. So we'll see. But that's where we are with that. And I was able, right, to add this to my monthly totals for Craft Yourself Free because it's done. There's no more. It's all gone. So that is a whip as well. And I am using a 4mm, my 4mm Clover with that. It is in here. I'm also using a 4mm Clover with the fairy dust, but because I'm not working on that right now, it's there. But I know that I'm using a 4mm with the fairy dust, so it's fine if I use the same hook. So I take that hook and I use it for that, and then take it and use it for this, however I need it. Okay, so another whip. All right. I started this and it wasn't I had no intentions of starting this, but I did, and I'm halfway done with it already because I could not get it out of my brain. Once I saw this pattern, I said to myself, I have yarn that would look great with that. It needs to be this yarn. Well, then I started looking at the yarn and I was like, I don't know that I have yarn to go with that. I don't know if that's going to look okay. And then I started doubting myself and all these things. And then somebody was like, just swatch it. Just make it and see if you like it. If you don't like it, you can always pull it out. And I was like, well, you know what? That's true. So I started it and I wanted to see how it would all play out color-wise. So I just kept going. And I'm almost finished with half of it. So we'll see how it goes from here. What in the world am I talking about? There is a YouTuber, fiber arts YouTuber, Amor Loves Yarn. She has tens of thousands of subscribers, so she is from the UK. I will put her channel down below. I'll also link the tutorial down below because it is a tutorial. Just be aware that if you don't know Amora as a channel, it's not a traditional walk you through every step kind of tutorial. She does tell you how to do it. She does show you how to do it to start out, but then you kind of jump from this to this to this in the tutorial, because she takes you through the process of making the whole cardigan. Yes, I said cardigan. Yes, I know it's June when you're watching this, maybe, or at least when I put it out, it's going to be June. But this would not leave my brain. And that doesn't happen too often where it can't be overridden. Most of the time I'd be like, nope, I can wait on that. Like I can just pump the brakes in my brain. I couldn't do that with this. This was like I have to do it right now. So I am using the Festive Cakes Christmas Classic. I got this in a Knitting Network haul, like right when I first got here. I have like 5 of this, and then 5 of, this is the icicle, and then there's one called mistletoe that I have, that instead of blue, it's green, gray, and white. But I'm using the icicle colorway. This is acrylic. It is 590 yards, 150 grams, made in Turkey, and it is a self-striping. It is white, baby blue, and a light to medium gray color. And then I'm also using this one, Hobie Universe. It is 98% acrylic, 2% polyester. It is 500, I just looked at it, 505 yards, 462 meters, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. This is a 1 weight. This is a 3 weight. So I am actually holding 2 together for this to make this part of the cardigan, and then just the one for this. So I'm going to pull this out because this is almost one whole side of the cardigan. So I have, it's a hexi-cardi, which I've never made, and I have part of it put together. I'm at the point where I'm gonna just add to the bottom, because the way that she did it in the tutorial is she did it, she added to the bottom later. And I think because this is self-striping, I want to kind of keep the color to the side, like the same on one side as the other, so it kind of has some continuity for one whole side and one whole side. I don't know, I may change my mind, but I'm at the point now where I can put this on and I can show you what it looks like. So this is 1/2, right? I will stand up gently, and I am using a 5.5 millimeter clover for this, but I will stand up and show you what this looks like. I just don't want the yarn to come apart. So this is the sleeve. I have to do the join that she did, but once I pull it up on myself, I don't want to step too far back because it's still attached on the back there. But this is it so far. I think it looks really nice. I'm not going to add any more here just because There's some extra pieces that go here that will sort of close it up. And then in the back, I'm going to maybe add a little bit more. But then along the bottom here, I'm going to add, because I added 2 rows. Once I did the sleeve, I added 2 rows to just this whole part. So the side, the front, the back, and the bottom. And then I'm going to go along the bottom. So just from here to here, and add probably 3 more rows. And by rows, it's this and this. So, but you need to finish on this. So, yeah, it'll be, so 3, maybe this much more. And that'll put me about butt length on this. And then I have to start the whole other side. But the more I worked with it, the more in love with it I fell. Like, honestly, guys, it's beautiful. I love it so much. And I am so happy that I let someone talk me into just making a swatch, because I started right in the middle there and then just kept going, and it is stunning. I don't know if I'm going to finish the sleeve the way that she did. I need to seam it and put it all together, because I should have stopped the sleeve a long time ago and I didn't. And I'm not going to rip it out now. So I may just end up with like a bell sleeve. But I know that she finished hers off. But I think once I like seam it up here, it'll get a little bit shorter, right, as I pull it together. So I'm going to do that and then see what it looks like on my arm once I do it. But this may just be, I may just put another little bit here, add a little bit of ribbing, and then that's it. Because, like, I mean, if I pull it all the way up and seam it, it ends up here, which is a good spot because I need to add a little bit more here, whatever. But anyway, that's where I am. I am thrilled with it. I think it's lovely. I think it's beautiful. And I'm excited to continue working on it. But I am already, this is 3 and 4. So I know that I can finish this side and have plenty left over. And I had 6 of these. So I have 2 that I set aside for the other half of the cardigan. And then with what I've added already to this, I'll have plenty to do that to the other side once I finish. Because I'm going to start the other side with the other 2 that I have. And then these will be my addition sort of things, if that makes sense. Because I know that it's going to take 2 cakes to do that side, because I put 2 cakes in this side already. So this shell is a yarn eater, especially I'm using 2 one-weight yarns. It goes by fast, right? And it's not heavy, really, because it's a 1-weight and a 3-weight. It's pretty nice, actually, to have on my body. It doesn't feel heavy at all, even on the one side. So, like I said, I'm really happy with it. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I was worried that the striping was going to be odd and not work, but I think because they both change color, that it plays out really beautifully. So the other side is going to look different. I tried to start these where they would match up, and I did, but then they're not wound the same at all. So there are parts where the colors for the shells are exactly the same, and there are parts that they're different. So like these shells are different, but then these shells are the same. These shells are different. These are different. These are the same. But this is like 1 row difference right? And these are different and these are the same. So there are parts where it lines up and parts where it doesn't. And I think that adds to it really. And then I'm not going to, because this has honestly barely been touched, when I finish this side, I'm just going to continue on with this ball. So I don't know where I'll end up with the middle here. I don't think I'll be on a blue, because right now I'm on blue. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because I still have about 3 more rows to do, and I don't know if I'll be on a white or a blue or a whatever. But I mean, I quickly moved to white, so I went from a little bit of blue and I quickly moved to white. So it'll play out roughly the same. We'll see, because honestly, this part in between, it's not a lot of yarn, because you can see I haven't even used one whole cake, and I've used 2 of these already. So, anyway, I can't say anything else. I'm happy with it. I love it. I will link it in the description box. Let me find my bag so I can put it back in there. And that's kind of what I've been, I mean, not all my focus has gone there. I've made other things, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But this has kind of been my hyper-vigilance sort of situation, where this is what I want to work on. I know that there are other things I need to work on, but honestly, once I get started on that, it's something that I can just go round and round and round and round and round. And then that's why the sleeve ended up getting so long, because I was just so into it. I was like, oh, maybe I should measure now. So, but it'll be fine. Even if it has an oversized sleeve, even if I have to like pull it back a little bit, it'll be fine. And I think, like I said, once I cinch up the sleeve, I think it'll get a little bit smaller. Like, it'll come up just a little bit, just because it has to go together. So it'll get a little bit tighter. Not much, but it'll get a little bit tighter and come up just that little bit more. And then once I seam it on the back and the other sleeve, like once I make the other side and I put them together and all of that, then I'll focus on what exactly I want to do with the sleeves and finish off the whole bottom, because she gives you options in the tutorial, but that will be linked below. Okay, so that was whips. Now we're gonna get on to FOs. I do have some, so we'll talk about those. Let me get that out here. So going back to Ladybird, she put out something for Smile Club. If you don't know Smile Club, you can go and check out her videos. She puts them out periodically for people in need. And she mentioned this time that she had somebody in need of baby items. Now, I don't really make like baby clothes and things, but you know I love my cotton. So I broke out some of that, and I've been working on a couple of things. So I made this bib and burp cloth set here. So I still have to weave in my ends for the tie. I was going to do a snap, but then I decided to just do the tie, because as the baby grows, if I put a snap or a button, then it couldn't be used for very long because the hole's not very big. But with the tie, you can use it a little bit longer. Like, I could even tie this around my neck. So it could be used for a lot longer with the tie. So I just have to weave in the ends on that, just the tie part. But the rest of it's woven in. And then I made a burp cloth out of the same colors. So this is really just a bunch of single and half double crochets. There's some half double in the back loop, just to make kind of a ridge effect, so that when you put it on your shoulder and the baby's on it, you know, I mean, if they do spit up, there's a little bit of ridging to like clean up as the baby moves their head around, you know. I tried to think about those kinds of things. but it's cotton. It will absorb, and it will last for a really long time. These are all done in sugar and cream. This is navy. That's the dark colorway. I used one whole supersize ball on this. And then this is the other color, which I didn't finish. This is Summer Prince. So 3 ounces, 85 grams, 150 yards. That was this one too. The supersize one. So I used all of the navy, but I barely touched this. And then I wanted to make a changing pad, which I made it. I still have to weave in the ends, but for all intents and purposes, it's done. But I used a different color because I didn't have enough navy. So that's what I did. So all of these are hot purple. All of this is hot purple. However, they're 3 different colors. So when I pulled them all out, I was like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? I didn't want to stripe it, and maybe I should have, but I didn't want to, because that's so many ends to weave in, and that's so much work. And honestly, I knew I wouldn't complete it if I did that. So I just sort of arranged them in order of how I wanted them to look. So I did a light purple. I did the light purple, and then the darkest one, and then the medium one. It's not really showing up super great. I mean, you can tell that they're different shades of purple on the screen, but they're not showing up as light as they actually are. And then this is Lion Brand cotton. And I had used some of this on another project, and then just did the border in this because it had the purple in it. And I also had the blue, which was similar, not the same, but similar to the blue that was in this. So that's kind of what I did there. And it's just a changing pad. You can fold it up, put it in a diaper bag. You can use it as a play mat if you want. You can use it as a changing pad when you go out somewhere. Either way, it's something for the baby to lay on, so that if you're changing them out in public, you don't have to lay them on the ground or lay them on concrete or whatever. But also, if you wanted to just take it as a mat for the baby to lay on, like if you went to the park or something. It's cotton. It's fairly soft. This middle one wasn't as soft as the other 2. So I did debate on using it, but it's in there now. So, but it's still soft. It's just not as soft as the other 2. But they're all 3. I have all 3 bands right here. They all say hot purple. All of them say hot purple. They all say hot purple. But they're very different. So that's just something to, oh my nose, to kind of show you when you're doing a project. I didn't necessarily need them all to be the same for this, right? But if you need them all to be the same, buy them all at the same time. These were not all bought at the same time, and that's okay, right? Because this is going to get washed and used and loved over and over and over again, I hope. But this is just to make it easy for baby. This is single, half double, double, single, half double, double. I just literally, I did my foundation chain, started out with single, then half double, then double, then single, then half double, then double, all the way up. Even when I change colors, everything. The border is half double crochet and then a row of single crochet, a round of single crochet. That's it. So I just have to weave in the ends, and then I can package this up along with these 2 and send them to Ladybird. And that will be Smile Club complete for me. So that is what I have for this video. I do have another FO, but I'm not going to show it to you here. Just know that I completed my crochet-a-long from last year. It's done. It's done! I'm so excited. So that video is actually going to come out on Friday. So if you will, please go check out that video. I'm super excited to share that with you. I have it down here, and I seriously debated on showing it to you all, but I decided against it. Oh, let me put this back in here so I can block it later and I don't forget. But I didn't want to show it twice. I want to show it and give it the segment that it's due, because it is done and complete and finished. And I cannot wait to share it with you all. So, the only other thing that I have completed was my liberal arts mal. And you've already seen this if you've been following that. But if you haven't, this is my liberal arts mal project for May. I was reading In the Time of Butterflies right here. And so I did this butterfly paint by numbers. It was a Michaels kit that I got this past summer while I was in the States. And I did that to go along with the book. So that was the other finished object that I have to show you. So I'm going to put that here. I'm going to close this because this isn't part of this. Put that right there. So for Craft Yourself Free, we'll get into that now. That is the crochet-a-long. That is the collaboration between Sam over at Manfella Makes and myself, where we wanted to literally just do what makes our heart happy, honestly, and be able to share it with you all, not be confined and constrained to when was it purchased, when was it made, when was all of this, because so many things within so many communities are tied to it has to be made within the month. And even my own make along, right? If you are in the liberal arts mal, it has to be made within the month that the genre is revealed, right? So there are restrictions, but with Craft Yourself Free, there are no restrictions. If you bought it this morning and you used it this afternoon, it counts. If you've had it for 6 years, it counts. If someone gave it to you as a gift, it counts. If doing that craft makes your heart happy, it counts, right? It doesn't matter. So we share our totals every month for what we've done. I use yardage of yarn that I've used, but then I also include books that I've read, kits that I've made, although there's not really a way to measure the kits because some of them are different. And with the books, I also include the pages that I've made, or pages that I've read, and then any other things that I've done that month, whether it's gardening or decoupage or whatever else my friends get me into, right? But we share those totals each month, and there have been so many people who have used the hashtag #CraftYourselfFree and who have added their totals in. There is no competition. There is no prize. It's just a way to bring joy to yourself, to others, to inspire other people to do the things that they love and not have those boundaries and limitations, right? So for the month of May, I used 1,844 yards. Thank you, Hobie Universe, for adding to that total, because that was over 1,000 yards just in those two cakes. I read 10 books for a total of 9,627 pages. I did the paint kit, and then I did another 50 liters of dirt with 3 more plants. There was someone who is leaving, and they had these big, beautiful ceramic pots, and they just gave them to me because they know that I love plants, and I couldn't help myself, and I bought more soil, and I filled them with plants, and they make me happy. So there we are. But we have that done and dusted, and those are my totals. Almost 40 minutes. All right, I'm going to let you all go. Let me know what you've been working on in the comments. What have you been reading? What have you been crafting? What has brought you joy? What did bring you joy in the month of May? So far in the few days in the month of June, what has brought you joy? And until I see you again, be well, be safe. and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!